'em up, lay it down just like Matt and Mari. Wrestling liver RHAPUp's gonna make it sorry. Feeling like The Rock cause I'm driving in Ferraris. And we coming every week and it's feeling like a party. Will Ric Flair, showing out like Bianca Belair, Best podcast, flush it in the air, Roman Reigns and we win it, don't care, No cap. Throw 'em up, lay it down just like Matt and Mari. Wrestling liver RHAPUp's gonna make it sorry. Feeling like The Rock cause I'm driving in Ferraris. And we coming every week and it's feeling like a party.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Wrestling RHAPUp podcast. I'm your host, Mari Forth, and with me, as always, my co-host, my tag team partner, Mr. Matt Scott. Matt, how are you?
I'm great. Mari, it never gets old. But speaking of something that's not old, that's new, we have some new first-time guests here. Like what?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Oh my gosh! What do we
like
do
to
now?
Introduce them.
Oh yeah, sure.
Let's get right into it because I just seen you, so we don't need to.
Wow, haters. But speaking of some people who aren't haters, the following contest is scheduled for one fall. Hailing from the mean streets of the pro wrestling fandom, representing the four sides of the ring podcast, they are the organizers of 3 Count Trivia, 2 of the bad boys of wrestling Twitter, who you can find sitting ringside for all the actions. Oh, you didn't know? They the ones. Please welcome first Hacksaw, Chano Hayes, and Brandy Savage.
Boom, 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 boom. Oh, that was really good. Thank you, guys.
Oh, that was
Thank
amazing.
you so much.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Is everyone else seeing stars right now? Like what?
Nope,
That
just
was
you.
That was amazing.
That was
Welcome, guys. We're so happy to have you guys on.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us. Thank you so much
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Yes.
For our listeners who are not familiar, we are joined by what, one half? It's like 2/4. It's the same thing.
Man.
2.5 of the group.
4 Sides of the Ring podcast. You might have heard us go up against them in their 3 Count Trivia podcast that they hosted, but that we beat them in. I don't want to. I'm sorry, it's no spoilers, and I'm sorry, I don't want to rub
What do you
it
mean
in.
no spoilers? It's out.
Like,
We call it out.
It's out.
103 points.
is out.
103 points.
Listen,
Wow.
to be fair, we put up 55. You know what I mean? Against
Yeah.
average people,
Great
against
job.
average people, we would have won. But
You tried.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie,
Yes.
Matt and Mari, they beat us bad.
Beat us
Thank you.
bad. Yes, we were the down bad picks this week. We were pretty down bad.
You know what
We
though?
are
Like
sorry
you couldn't really win either way, because if you won, then it's a conspiracy.
Yes.
If you didn't win,
I would have
Yeah.
called rigged. I would have called conspiracy.
we
I
already
would've
were.
all of the things.
Yeah, she was already calling Rick when she
I
saw
was.
the matchup.
We didn't even
I
press
did.
record yet.
I was like, how are we against the host of the tournament?
We got screwed.
Like,
We almost
how
got
did that
screwed.
happen? No,
Almost
but we're
got screwed.
so
No,
glad to
almost.
have you guys. We're
48
loving
point
like
butt whooping.
all the we're loving all of the collaborations we're doing these past few weeks. So I cannot wait to get y'all takes on we're previewing the Elimination Chamber. So get your predictions ready. If you're listening and if you're in the Job Has a Squadcast Facebook group, you can sign up to be in the what do we even call it? The Wrestling RHAPUp Championship. I don't know.
What? Yeah, no, it's
Wrestling RHAPUp Pro Wrestling.
You're the champion. You are the champion.
I am the champion, and I don't even remember what Grace calls it. But
wow, what a
if you-
burial!
If you sign up, you
Weird.
can do you can give your Elimination Chamber predictions. You'll go up against somebody else, and depending who wins, you're one step closer to facing me, the champ, in our predictions like battle royale thing. It's amazing. Grace is doing a great job of running it in the Facebook, so go check in the Facebook. She posted for anybody who wants to play along.
But you know what? You know who's not doing a great job as the champion? You, Mari, because it's called Wrestling RHAPUp. Wait, no, it's called the Wrestling RHAPUp
Yeah. You're not gonna goad me and get me angry and let you face me for the title. You gotta get to the back of the line. I
wrestling.
smacked him.
Wait, let me say the
Rumble.
name.
I'm the champion. You gotta get to the back of the line.
The Wrestling RHAPup Wrestling Federation.
There it is. Yes, the Wrestling RHAPup
Wow.
Wrestling Federation.
Okay. I get why
Yes.
you struggled with it a little bit.
But we're being rude to our guests. Let's just hop right into we're getting a little bit of news. We gotta say, we're sending like healing vibes to Shotzi Blackheart, who unfortunately she tore her ACL this week, well, last week on the NXT taping. And what was just like a freak accident. It wasn't even it's always never like a big move. It's always she just jumping down from the apron to the floor and tore her ACL. Yeah, I see. It's sad. She wasn't doing anything crazy. And against Valkyria, the champion. Guys, anything you guys want to say about Shotzi Channel? You want to go first?
It's unfortunate, man, because it's just like one of her regular moves, you know?
Yeah.
But to see her just just go down, and she clutched at the knee immediately.
Yeah.
And it's so unfortunate because she was kind of lost in that shuffle on the main roster. So NXT would have kind of given her like a little chance to like redeem herself, gain some confidence, and hopefully find something that works, just like they've been doing with Baron Corbin. But it's honestly really unfortunate how it just shook out, you know. So 9 months. Listen, she just got married too, so hopefully it's not. So maybe it's not that bad. You know what I mean? She got to go spend time with her newlywed husband and just rehab, get better and stronger.
Yeah, Brandon, this was at a time where she was featured in the Survivor Series War Games match. She was coming off of a storyline with Damage Control. Now she is back in NXT to kind of make a name for herself. What do you think about the timing here?
I think the timing is definitely unfortunate, and
yeah,
it's one of those things where Big Chance said when she comes into NXT, anytime she comes down to NXT, it's always a good sight. I feel like she's very welcome down there, and to see her go down in NXT is kind of unfortunate. I definitely send my prayers. Definitely when she comes back, I hope she doesn't miss any more time. Just jump her right back into action because I love seeing Shotzi on TV.
I know she's one of those people who has so much potential, right, Matt? That it feels like they never tap into it.
Yeah, and I think I saw her post on Instagram about the injury, but also the fact that the last few years have been tough for her. And she mentioned oddly something that I think like Becky Lynch kind of made a similar reference to. Like Shotzi she kept working through not only losing her dad, but her stepdad passing away. And through her sister, I believe, having cancer, all this other stuff. So she's been through it. And the beautiful thing about the post she had was like, well, this is just a reminder for me to slow down. So I'm like, great. I'm glad. Like, hopefully you're taking it that way. Hopefully it all works out. Hopefully you come back better than ever. But just not great. Not great. Never good to see anyone injured. But I especially feel for her because I feel like there's a lot of stuff like this that just comes up for her and gets in her way.
Exactly. Yep. So prayers and everything to Shotzi. Not much news this week. So just a reminder, if you haven't already, please go subscribe to the Wrestling RHAPup podcast feed. You can go to robhasawebsite.com/wrestling feed in order to subscribe wherever you get your wrestling. We are currently on the Rob Has a Podcast YouTube page. But keep a lookout. We might be getting our own YouTube channel pretty soon. So make sure you are following me in that so you can see where our new move is. If we do move, all right. Yes, this is totally been talked about. And if you haven't, already. Again, make sure you join our official, unofficial Facebook group. The Job Has a Squadcast Facebook group. We're having such a fun time over there. Shout out to everybody in there. We really appreciate them. Thank you so much. So let's get straight into it. I mean, no chaser. Let's go. We're here to preview the Elimination Chamber with the highlights of the week. Of course, every week the highlights of the week can be found in a very handy playlist in your show notes, show descriptions, wherever you're listening or wherever you're watching. And we got to start off with the first match. It's the men's Elimination Chamber match featuring Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton versus Bobby Lashley versus LA Knight versus Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul. Brandon, Ooh. Is this as cut and dry as we all might think it is? Who's winning this Elimination Chamber match and why?
I actually think it is as cut and dry as we think it is, because when you look at this lineup, you kind of look at it as who it's not gonna be, and there's a lot more. It's not gonna be this person than there is. It should be this guy, and I feel like between Drew and Randy are the only ones I really feel should be the guys, but it's most likely gonna be Drew.
Yeah.
You know what? On a related note, like, it is kind of funny looking at the graphic. And by the way, if you're not watching on YouTube, on the RHAP Has a Podcast YouTube currently, what are you doing? Because look at the graphic. Like, it is kind of weird that right in the middle you got Randy and Drew, and they don't have their faces covered at all. Like, it's almost like they're trying to tell us it's between the two of them. So
yeah, they specifically, like, the change are specifically behind Randy and Drew, but they're on everybody else's face. That's very, very weird.
It's kind of crap editing, but
it is.
I didn't even see that when I said that.
Channel, any dark horses here? Like any?
No,
not
at all.
I know. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. Honestly, they're not giving us anything to work with.
I'm looking at it, and it's a very stiff match. Outside of Logan Paul, I don't see anybody doing anything to really excite us during this match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Randy has a bad bag. Lashley's close to 50.
Yeah.
I'm lying. KO's actually pretty agile.
Yeah. I love KO. KO finna throw his body all around that thing. You know it.
1,000%. LA Knight can't really move. Drew's Drew.
Yeah.
So it's like it's very stiff.
So let's talk about maybe some storylines coming out of the chamber. Okay. So I think we all think like Drew is more than likely going to win. He's the one who's most set up to go up against Seth. He's the one who currently has a really good storyline going into WrestleMania. I love his player hater of the year gimmick that he's doing right now. LA Knight tweeted out a picture of him with some koala bears and like, just like, oh, look at these koala bears. Drew McIntyre then quote tweeted it with the rate of chlamydia in koala bears. Like just a headline of like how
what are you talking about? Don't even.
Drew McIntyre is a menace. That man is a complete menace. So like, and it's the most excited I've been about Drew getting a title shot in like years. So, and technically in this match, he's kind of like, it's him, Logan Paul, and Bobby Lashley that are the heels, you know? Seth and Logan Paul, no. I mean, Logan still has the US belt. He has the US belt. I'm thinking at most maybe we get LA Knight versus a Logan Paul setup here for the US title, maybe something to that effect in the chamber. Help me out here.
That's what it feels. Honestly, that's exactly what it feels like. It feels like LA Knight's not ready to become a world champion in WWE because honestly, with your tribal chief Roman Reigns holding the belt for so long, the next person to hold that belt is honestly either Cody, and cross my fingers, maybe Jay.
Right.
The koala bears. So honestly, the best thing for LA Knight to come out of this is the beautiful Logan Paul and hopefully win the title at Mania.
Yeah.
Because I don't see Logan. I don't think Logan's a long-term champion.
No.
But the United States title has had like a really bad back-to-back of like really bad United States champions. So hopefully LA Knight could take the funk off of it. Outside of that, I don't know what anybody really does. I don't know what this does for Kevin Owens. Lashley's kind of feuding with Karrion Kross. Kross is in the chamber.
Yeah.
Randy Randy is the weird one for me because it's like, what do you really do with Randy Orton? But he's
I
Randy
was surprised
Orton.
he got this spot here, kind of in a sense.
I'm surprised he vouched for it. It's a hard match.
Yeah.
If you saw his match for the qualifier against Sami, he was favoring his back a lot. And I grew up watching Randy, so I get scared. You know, I don't want to see Randy go out that way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's a really weird spot for him.
It is. But you know what I have to keep reminding myself about the chamber is like 5 people got to get pinned. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you don't. Like Randy is a big enough name that you get the rub from the pin, but the pin doesn't hurt him. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if Randy ends up being pinned first, so he doesn't have to like really work his back out that much, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? I think, and that's why I think like KO is in here too, because no matter what, people love KO. Like KO, KO's gonna do some crazy shit, and then he's gonna get pinned, but we're still gonna love him 2 days later. So I think that's what's going on. We know Drew's gonna win this. We're gonna maybe set up a storyline or two, but it's just about like having people in there who can put on a show, take a pin, and not be too hurt by it. So
it's interesting. It's one of those things where the Elimination Chamber this year is, especially with the match card, there's only 4 matches and an interview. And it's kind of like, would Logan Paul have been better if defending his title?
That's what I was saying.
Rather than being in the chamber. Don't be wrong. Him in the chamber is electric. He's a spider monkey. He's going to climb on top of somebody's cell, maybe hit a moonsault, 5-star frog splash, the works. But did we get Jep seeing Logan Paul in a one-on-one match in Australia? Because it's a stadium show, guys. It's not like it's in the States. It's not like it's in Utah. They're in a whole nother country. You know what I mean? It's 20-hour flight, far as hell. But that's short match card. So it's like, what are we?
Yeah, it doesn't feel big enough almost.
It doesn't. It's like it's the match. Yeah. It's the card before Mania.
Yeah,
I expected more personally, but I'm fully expecting WWE to make it up to us like in WrestleMania weekend, 1,000%.
Yeah. Matt, do you think we just have? That's why I'm kind of leaning towards. Is Logan Paul in here just to advance his WrestleMania opponent,
or is he in here because he's Logan Paul and they're like, oh, we have to put a notable name, like kind of like in the Ronda Rousey category, like let's put her in for like that casual like I don't know, why is he in here? I don't really get it, but I'm ready for it. I mean, it's gonna be like electric, him like Chano said, like him all over the place in there, but like you have to use it to set up something. Like we did talk about before Mari, LA Knight, and Logan Paul. But then when I think of LA Knight, I'm like, oh, but you have that whole other thing with AJ Styles. Like you could just have a match with him.
Oh yeah,
at Mania. So I'm really confused. And then there's also like KO and Logan Paul who had their thing. So
yeah.
I mean, I don't know where it's going. Again, I'm like, I'm kind of useless because I'm like, what? Like, I don't know. Wait and see. We'll find out at 5 a.m.
Brandon, do you think maybe we can get like I feel like we haven't had a ladder match for a mid-card belt in what feels like forever on a WrestleMania. Maybe Logan Paul gets in here and we get KO, LA Knight, maybe we get a multi-man match at WrestleMania for the belt.
A triple threat. I actually do like that.
Or Money in the Bank. Well, not Money in the Bank, but they used to do that. Like, give us a 6-way, just like throw everyone in.
Yeah, they used to.
A ladder match at WrestleMania would be very interesting. When's the last time we had a ladder match at WrestleMania alone?
That's what I'm saying. Like the Intercontinental belt. What was it?
The
Intercontinental
Zack Ryder probably. Was it Zack Ryder who won that one?
No, we had the Intercontinental belt in 2016, 2015 at SoFi.
No, I think Ryder won
Heist.
Yeah, I think Zack.
Oh yeah, you're right, Ryder. Yeah. You know what? Mm-hmm. Yep, you're right. I forgot. He lost it the next day. I'm sorry, I forgot.
That
24-hour title. Rain.
He's been studying.
You know what's crazy?
Right.
Now that you guys say it, that could have happened in the Elimination Chamber. That would have been perfect to have like Logan, Grayson Waller, who's a countryman over there. Probably could have done something with Theory. Theory's already over there. We saw him already in Aussie already. Maybe a little Dom, maybe a little KO. Is it a matter of like there's not a big enough names to make up for the whole entire card? Because we kind of lost Seth here.
Yeah,
I feel like Seth was supposed to defend here, and then you can't hinder the gender, and he's out till Mania.
Oof.
Yeah, he's out till Mania. I don't know. But Grayson, we'll talk about it. But Grayson Waller's getting his own segment. I do want to say shout out for everybody who's listening, who also listens to Australian Survivor or who watches Australian Survivor, and is that's a big part of our channel over here. One of the current contestants on Australian Survivor, Jaden, he got invited for a WWE tryout this weekend, and he's very, very pumped, very, very excited for it. And I actually hope he makes it in because he's amazing on Survivor. He's just like this big dude who's just very funny. He's very happy-go-lucky. He doesn't really care about the Survivor game, but he's very funny. And I think he could be a really good wrestler. Yes. He could be a really good wrestler.
His tattoos are wild.
Would he be the second reality TV show star to become a wrestler since The Miz?
No. We can go down the list of how many reality TV stars are actually wrestlers. Grayson Waller himself was on Australian Survivor, so I wouldn't.
Was he really? Wow, I didn't know that.
Yep. Matty Wahlberg is his real name. He was on I want to say the 2016. It's either 2016 or 2018. Australian Survivor season. And he's really good, and he's learned a lot, and he got a tryout, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's helping Jaden. And then there's Johnny Mundo, Johnny Wrestling. He actually he went from being a wrestler to a reality star to back to being a wrestler.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count.
There's a lot.
Thank you. It doesn't count.
That doesn't count. He already started off with us.
It counts in my book.
Wow.
So one question about the reality.
Night, yes.
Yeah.
One question about the reality.
Next
which out of the Challenge, Big Brother, all the reality TV shows right now, aside from the guy you mentioned, who would you think would come in and become a great wrestler?
Well, Judas, he went by Judas
so
in
you're
NXT on Big Brother, but his name right now is Luchasaurus on AEW. He was also a Big Brother reality TV
Really?
Oh yeah, he was too.
That's actually dope. So he just jumped the challenge and just went straight to professional wrestling.
Basically, yeah.
He said he was signed to NXT like as a recruit, but he went on Big Brother, and then he actually shout out to him because he actually may have gotten blackballed from WWE because he spoke up about Bill DeMott, the trainer Bill DeMott.
Wait, but Mari.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'm like, who is big? If you look at the challenge or whatever, who is the size, right? So you need to be like, maybe like 6 feet at least, but also built, muscular. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the people on reality TV are like relatively small. Oh, you know what, Mari? The other person who comes to mind who doesn't answer this question at all, Jesse Goddard's. Who was Big Brother.
Oh, Jesse, he was on Big Brother, and then he's a wrestler on TNA.
OVW.
I forget Mr. Spectacular, if you're familiar with him, Mr. Spectacular.
Okay, we don't have an answer to the question though.
We do. I mean, he asked. I mean, how many wrestlers?
Who would be good? Oh, who would be good? All these people are too like heavy. Like they're not going to know how to work.
Give me 15 years ago. Give me CT.
Oh, that's what I was about to say. I thought of CT.
Give me CT.
Yeah,
because he was strong, but especially with the bananas backpack. And don't get me wrong, he is an a-hole. He'll be a great heel.
If Kenny and Evan weren't dicks, they would be too bad.
No, yeah, I know. I'm with you. CT, I just feel like would be shooting too much in the ring. That's why I skipped. Give me like give me a Nisa. She's messy.
Oh,
like, I like
yeah.
you know,
Scrappy.
put her in. Yeah.
Give me Nani in the 3 stages of hell match.
No.
Oh damn.
No. It would be my 3 stages of hell.
I'm ready
Please
for it.
no.
Let's go.
Yeah. But yeah, we stretch this as much as we can stretch it.
By the way, shout out going back to like our 2+ years of the podcast to almost 3 years to Scott Yeager from Challenge Mania, who we had this conversation with. He was listing out people like go back 3 years and find that episode and you'll
Mark Long was wrestling, remember?
He's 50.
Yeah, I'm just saying he
I
shouldn't was a reality star.
Cut it out. I'm not editing.
You're the editor. I was like, you do the editing.
No, he's not too old. He's a great age and hopefully a future guest of the Wrestling Wrap. Look at that, damn.
Okay, so I think it's official. I think we all said that we have Drew McIntyre here. I'm sorry. I know that's going to be boring for the listeners, but I mean, it's just literally, it's right there. They're spelling it out. I'm fine with it. I don't see a swerve happening at all.
Well, wait. Okay. What if? No, I'm not. You know what? I put on my tinfoil hat.
Don't do it.
And then I threw it out.
Yeah.
But where I was gonna go was like, what if like one of the people had to swap out? Like, what if someone gets injured and replaced? Like, I don't know, but
like kayfabe injured?
It's freaking Drew. It's Drew. It's true.
I'm like,
wait. Where is where? No. Kayfabe. Where is Sami Zayn?
Yeah, I don't. Sami right now is doing the like the scrappy baby face. Like he's losing everything right now. So I don't know what they're building towards for him, but right now they just have him doing the plucky baby face who's been losing all his matches. He lost to Randy, he lost to Shinsuke, he's getting beat up. So he might, like we said, he might be forming that, that shield thing we'll talk about a little bit later. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So let's get on to the women's Elimination Chamber match. It is Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair versus.
Sorry, let me cut you off for a damn second. These graphics are like totally they
go Naomi.
They put these people who have a great chance at winning right in the middle, don't they?
Right in the middle.
But I'm gonna, Mari, I'll go with it. We have Becky Lynch, we have Naomi, we have Bianca, we have Tiffany Stratton, we have Raquel, and we have Liv Morgan in the chamber match.
I really like this lineup. I truly really do like this lineup. I really feel like we're going to get a lot of high flying stuff. I'm wondering if because the men seem like they're going to be a lot of like ground and pound, that the women are going to really hit it out of the park with some high flying stuff. You got at least 3 high flyers in Liv, Naomi, and Tiffany Stratton can do her big one with her moonsault, and then you have the bases and big back Raquel and Bianca, and Becky is just Becky Lynch. So it's no surprise that I'm kind of more excited about this match, even though we still know that I think at least Becky Lynch is going to win this match. Chano, any other predictions? I mean, they did do a good job this week of with that segment. Did you like that segment this week with all the women coming out?
I did. I thought it was cool. I thought it was great for Tiffany Stratton because she was a little shaky on the mic.
Yeah, she was.
She was a little shaky, but she's come a long way from NXT, So I'm really excited for what she can do. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, the women have been killing it in these big matches. War Games, the Royal Rumble, now the Chamber, down at NXT, the Iron Survivor match. The women have been knocking out and outperforming the men consistently. But I don't think this one is as clear and cut as the men. I feel like we can go the redemption route with Liv.
Yeah, I do. Ooh, Liv made a case for herself.
Liv versus Rhea Mania. That's David versus Goliath. That's a big one. Honestly, I don't think Tiffany's going to WrestleMania. Is going to WrestleMania against Rhea. but she's gonna add some flying to this. Naomi, she just got to SmackDown. If she was meant to be on Raw facing Rhea, she'd be on Raw facing Rhea. So this leaps to me. It's either Liv or Big Match.
I'm thinking so. Yeah. And speaking of which, Naomi, we didn't get to talk about, but Naomi had her first match back against Alba Fire on SmackDown last week, and I mean, the crowd still loves her. I love her. Oh my god, I'm so glad she's back. She looks so happy to be back. She had new music, and she finished Alba Fire off with the modified rings of Saturn that she uses, that she was calling Starstruck in TNA, I believe. I don't know. It was Slay Mission here in WWE, I think a few years ago. Slay Mission. It was like that. It was something like that. But I love when she does that move. Like, that is literally my favorite move that she does, and I'm so glad that she brought it back. Brandon, what are you thinking? Is it cut and dry? Do we have some dark horses here? Where are we going?
See, I definitely have a dark horse, and it's crazy to call her a dark horse. And even Chances didn't mention her. It was kind of crazy. It's like,
Bianca Belair. Give me a look, and I peeped it.
I'm like, Bianca Belair, dark horse is just crazy to say, and that's why it could be a swerve. It's the video game cover. Why not book it for WrestleMania? Have her like you just said, she's not in the middle, so it could be a little bit of a swerve. So yeah, I would definitely like to see Bianca take it, because I've been wanting that match since me and Chance started. I've been telling them that's the money match. That's the money. They're holding their cards onto that match, and I hope they.
That's true. They are holding it. That's a great point. It's hard because in this promo, right? They had the standard promo of like all the women come out and say their piece. I loved it. I loved Becky's reactions to all the women coming out. But Bianca Belair, I mean, loudest pop. I'm pretty sure loudest pop of everybody that came out. But she was definitely bringing back her shades of NXT Bianca with the girl, the undefeated. I love that they are acknowledging her undefeated streak at WrestleMania, and that is probably the biggest reason why I don't think she's gonna win, because I think Rhea is keeping the belt here. I don't think Rhea's losing at WrestleMania personally. And Bianca, I don't think it's shades of a heel turn or anything like that. I just think she's like solidifying that. I've said it once, I've said it 20 times on this podcast. Bianca does not need the title. You know what I'm saying? Like, she draws people to her. She still gets those loud pops. She hasn't had the belt in at least 5-6 months. She won it for 2 seconds at SummerSlam before she lost it again. You know what I'm saying? So Bianca doesn't need the belt. So I love that she can work a WrestleMania match without the belt. People are saying they think we might be getting Bianca versus Tiffany at WrestleMania. And I'm just like, that would feel like a step down in all of the big matches she's been in the last few years. But it's also a resume patter, We know that she was supposed to face Charlotte this year before Charlotte got injured, unfortunately. And I know I really wanted to see that. But maybe it's a resume patter, because right now they're not building much for her. So maybe it happens somewhere in this Elimination Chamber match. That's something it's built for. Sure.
I will say, I do think Bianca, it's hard to say undefeated, because I do think she's losing at WrestleMania streak this year regardless.
I don't think so.
I really think Jade is going to have her debut singles match at Mania against Bianca. And I really think they put Jade over at Mania over Bianca, solidifying her as the star that she is.
I just don't see that. I don't see that, because they haven't built towards it. You're building towards it with a month out. I just don't see that. Like, I thought that we would get some sort of interaction between Bianca and Jade for WrestleMania, but when they didn't touch basically at all in the Rumble, Every time we see Bianca and Liv, they seem to be in Jade's corner. I would more likely, again, maybe it's just my bias, I would more likely want to see Bianca and Jade on the same side as a team facing somebody at WrestleMania, facing another team at WrestleMania, than to rush a feud between them when, like, that's a money match that you should take months to build. You should not try and build that in 1 month, to me. And I think they're being very precious with Jade, which was what was going to be my next question to you guys. Like, a lot of people were mad that Jade didn't win the last chance battle royale that Raquel Rodriguez won to be in this match. But again, I think people forget 5 people are getting pinned. So Jade Cargill not being in this match when we pretty much know Becky Lynch is taking it home, I think is a very smart idea. I think they need to really protect her, like almost like Ronda. So if Jade is going to be at WrestleMania, I think it really should be in a tag match. I think it should be in a tag match where she gets the easy win with somebody, or maybe that women's battle royal. Like, I don't think we need to rush Jade. Maybe that's just me. Sorry, I went on my soapbox.
No, I mean,
and I don't want them to fight. I'm trying to talk it into existence.
No, listen, what you're saying makes a lot of sense. But the thing with Jade is, unfortunately, she is a bona fide superstar.
She is.
So being the big star that she is, honestly, it's not going to take much to get a believable feud going. You know what I mean? It could be a random SmackDown after the Elimination Chamber. Bianca's out there with the mic saying she's the E. Some music cuts, Jade walking out like, nah, it's not true no more. It's me. And we can build off that so simple. But honestly, I do think we need to see Jade at Mania. I don't want to see in a tag team match. I don't want to see in the tag team match because I feel like we have so many, I don't want to say pointless, but like the women's tag team titles with the Kabuki Warriors, like they're going to get a match. Kabuki, my apologies. My apologies. Like, I feel like they're going to get a match at Mania that's not really probably going to produce or be against a tag team that honestly deserves those titles, because the women's tag division is kind of like muddy and murky. You know what I mean? Unless Chelsea Green clones herself and there's 2 of her and she can win the tag titles by herself. So it's just like, I don't want to see another women's tag match. Brandy, how you feel about that, Reddy?
Yeah.
I feel like if Jay's gonna be at WrestleMania in a singles match, it's probably gonna be with Nia Jax, just because they had the Royal Rumble build.
That was good.
It's something for 2 people that is not for a title but can build a promo for a match.
That's a good one.
Would be, because it's heels and babyface, and I believe Jade's a babyface.
Yeah, I mean, for now, I mean, but
now,
also, but I'm like, okay, but like, what about the Raw after Mania for Jade? Like, give that to her. I don't know.
That's what
I don't know.
That's what I'm about to say. I think we want too much instant gratification and we don't think about like the long run. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to think about the long run. And my thought, I would honestly love for Bianca and Jade to challenge for the tag team titles at WrestleMania, because we're also doing a lot of wishful thinking. Because let's be real, at WrestleMania, the last 2 to 3 years, there has not been a women's match on the card that did not involve a title, from what I remember correctly.
Okay,
like it's normally just the women's titles matches, and that's it. Unfortunately,
there was, but it was a trios match. It was a 6-man. It was Becky, Lita,
Trish.
Damage control. Damage control. Yeah, you're right. But like, hardly ever and that's just one match. They got one extra match out of the titles. When we have like 80 million men's non-title matches that nobody gives a shit about. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, they gotta build something.
Okay, wait, hold on. We need to get back on the freaking topic, because we're talking about the women's elimination chamber match.
Yeah, we are. We're talking about.
Okay, are we still talking about Jade or about that match? Because
Well, it's kind of both, but keep going.
Jade is not going to win the Elimination Chamber.
No,
but you know who I believe will win? Could anyone want to know who I think will win?
Yes.
I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call Bianca Belair as our winner. You know why?
Right.
Because why is she on? I have to find the graphic. Why is she on all of the WrestleMania graphics?
She is.
She doesn't even have a match.
Which I love that for her.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I love that for her.
She's
the biggest star. She's the biggest star. Yeah. She has to be on all this stuff.
I mean, I'm just like, come on. Like, how awkward. Are they going to have to Photoshop her out and replace her with Becky?
I'm not gonna lie. It's really funny that you say that because Bianca really has been on everything. Even to the point that Bayley won the Royal Rumble and she's still not on any promotion.
No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's so
crazy.
funny. Yeah. I know. And well, again, star power.
Bayley's photoshopping her. Yeah, Bayley's photoshopping herself into these photos at this point.
She is. Yeah. All right. So match prediction is Bianca. Brandon, your official prediction for the women's winner
is Bianca as well.
Bianca. All right. Chance, your prediction?
I'm gonna go with Liv Morgan.
Oh, there you go. All righty. And mine will be Becky Lynch. I do love Liv ate on the mic on that promo, yo. She is so good. She floated. Like it was good. I was like, oh, I want to see that match. I want to see that match. But maybe that'll be for after. I think Liv. I think Becky jobs. I think Becky does the job for Rhea to put her over, and then maybe Liv takes it off of her at SummerSlam.
You know, Liv was the last person that pin Rhea Ripley.
Yep, exactly.
So it could come full. It can come full circle.
Full circle. I agree. I just don't think it's going to happen at Mania. Unfortunately for Liv.
Could it? I just want to bring up another thing. How uncomfortable are you all as uncomfortable as I am with like desperate Becky Lynch? Like I don't appreciate it. She's like, I've done this my whole life. I gave up everything to be here. And I'm like, you and everyone else, like get in freaking you are the man. Like you're making more money than all these women and you're complaining.
Tell her to sit down and shut up.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm like, literally look around. Like, where is Xia Li? Come on. Where's Xia Li? Yikes. Should be out there complaining.
Right.
Listen, you got a great point because I feel the same way about Drew. Before Drew became a menace. Before Drew became a menace and I was hating on Drew, I was like, listen, bro, like I don't want to hear about your sorrows. Listen, I am a middle class American. You are, to me, sir, you are wealthy.
I'm just saying, Becky Lynch, ungrateful.
Yes, 1,000%.
Ungrateful.
Listen, your husband's your husband's a superstar. You have an adorable baby,
world champion. Yeah,
Seth is also
baby.
He's also
the world champion. That is
you know what I mean? Like everything in your life is great right now. Don't talk to me about you got to prove yourself.
You know what? Down with the rich. I'm over Becky.
Eat the
rich. I'm done.
Next up, we have Rhea Ripley is the. I haven't even been saying the match. Yeah, well, okay, I have been saying the match cards, but for the Women's World Championship title match, it's Rhea Ripley, who is the current champ, versus Nia Jax. And you know what? We'll get into that right after this break.
Ooh, a break.
We're back. We gotta take a break for the sponsors. Okay. So Rhea versus Nia. Like this build has been really good. Again, Nia Jax is my problematic fave. I love her so much in the ring as a character. I do not talk about her personal life, but this has been great. Nia just attacking Rhea, randomly. Rhea attacking Becky and Nia. And then finally the segment that we got this week where they're doing the backstage separate segments where it's like, they just hate each other so much. We got to put them backstage so that they can talk. I'm so glad that Rhea is getting a chance to be a champion on her home turf in Australia and gets to represent and get to show off with Nia. I think this is going to be a great match. I'm like really excited for this match.
That'll be the main event.
Oh, that would be right, because there's no Roman, there's no Miz. Oh, that would be amazing if they do that. They have a chance to do something great. Yeah.
Could you imagine the pop? I'm telling you right now, if you don't pop for Rhea Ripley, how Puerto Rico did for Benito, I don't want to hear
Thank you.
I don't want to hear it at all.
Yo, Puerto Rico went off. That was such a good pay-per-view. Oh my gosh. Brandon, so who do you got here?
I mean, it's like we were like, if you go back to the last segment, we were literally just talking about nobody counted Rhea with a loss. It was just like, oh, they're gonna face
That's
Rhea.
True. Yeah.
So I'm definitely going with Rhea.
Okay. No, yeah, keep going.
Mari buying time. Like
I know.
I think it's just one of those matches where
I'm trying.
It comes down to like they gotta sell the body slam. And then she gets the body slam and she wins. It's like that's just the science. I feel like we're gonna go the simple science.
Yeah,
we haven't seen her do a riptide, and no, it's okay. We haven't seen her do a riptide in forever.
That is.
Has she done a riptide on Nia?
Well, she hasn't. No, she can't. She can't pick her up. Let fake kayfabe. Can't let.
Oh my god!
Exactly. So that's what we're selling.
Oh my god!
You know who does a great job at selling that? MJF. Like MJF does
the body slam, like the
body slam. So it's like on AEW. On AEW, there's a wrestler named MJF, former world champion over there, and
thank you.
He used to fight these bigger guys, and like he used to struggle for like 3/4 of the match, like lifting them up, and then he'd finally get in. He would sell the ish out of it. And then he'll post a picture in black and white, like I did this in front of like 200,000 Hulkamaniacs. And it's just great. So honestly, we could probably see shades of that.
Yeah,
like her trying to do it like 2-3 times. Then Riptide at the clock when the clock strikes midnight, Riptide to end the match, and that'll be an incredible poster shot, honestly.
No, I think you're right. Because my back just started hurting, so I feel like Rhea is gonna really Rhea's gonna do it. Like I felt it.
So quick tinfoil hat time, right?
Oh no.
So Rhea technically is a heel champion, but she gets the reaction. So she's playing tweener. Even in this promo here, she starts off kind of like laying out her insecurities. She's like, at one point I wanted to quit, which we know was all true after she lost to Charlotte that year, or whatever year that was. She I think she got injured as well, but she just kept losing. And she like was talking about how she wanted to quit. Her career wasn't going where she was before she broke out into this role. And then it turned to the heelier portion of her promo. I love that she's going back and forth here. But the problem is, if we are expecting, like I'm expecting, at least for me, for her to face like a Becky Lynch or like a Liv Morgan or Bianca Belair, those are all faces. She's a tweener. She's still getting reactions. Nia Jax is a pure heel. The crowd hates Nia Jax. They give her the appropriate response. Nia is so hilarious in how horrible she is. In the segment from last week, she came out talking about how Becky Lynch was too good of a mom / a bad mom. It was the weirdest thing. I was like, you're insulting her, but you're not like insulting her. Like it was great. And so Nia Jax is the pure heel here. Is there a way that we get Nia Jax sneaking into the WrestleMania match and we get Rhea, Nia Jax, and like a Becky for WrestleMania? Chano?
I don't think so.
I think so.
And the reason I don't think so is because, one, if you have Rhea Ripley lose her world title in Australia, it's gonna be like ECW One Night Stand in 06. Those people will riot. 1,000%. They're not.
Oh yeah.
They're not.
She's not losing. She's not losing the belt, but yeah, I don't think she's losing.
So it's
the belt.
but also they've done a job with Nia Jax in a sense over these past couple months since her return. Nobody has really been able to put Nia on her ass.
Exactly. Yeah.
Except Jade. Jade did it so effortlessly at the Rumble. Yeah. Even Rhea, she hasn't been able to put Nia on her back at all. Nobody's done it. You got Shayna Baszler, can't do it. Most of the women's division that was now ran through can't do it. So let's say she skates through Mania as a champion. Only person I want to see her face at this point is Bianca, who could probably put her on her back. But honestly, other than that, I don't see anybody else who's capable of doing so. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think if they insert Nia into the WrestleMania match, it's just so she can take the pin. So you keep Rhea, you keep Becky safe.
I don't know. It has to be some superpowers suplex or something to put.
We're talking about some real like Becky and Rhea team up type stuff to take her out type thing.
It's hard to see that match become a triple threat because Rhea proved to WrestleMania chops last year. You know what I mean? When her and Charlotte had an absolute 5-star banger. When I saw that match last year, I was like, "This is women's wrestling." Before I never really took it like so seriously because I coming from a young boy watching SmackDown at UPN, watching these gimmick women matches that weren't really matches. Gravy. They were like, yeah, exactly.
It took Charlotte versus Rhea to get you to notice.
Well, the thing is, I took a nice 10-year hiatus from watching wrestling. Took a nice hiatus. I realized I did miss some matches. I did miss Sasha versus Bayley at NXT.
Okay.
I missed some good Sasha matches, but this was the first time since I started rewatching that I was like, oh my god! I was like, this is an absolute banger. This is what women's wrestling should be, and it was incredible.
Okay. You're excused then.
What is this Charlotte hate?
Oh, don't get me started.
I'm not getting in. I'm not touching it. Mari, what about the Charlotte hate?
I am very vocal about how I think Charlotte is really overrated. However, but she has been doing a really good job. Oh, she's been doing a really good job this last few years away from the title. She's been doing really good, but Charlotte needs the title. That's why she's a 14-time women's champion. She can't build outside of the title picture. And that, to me, if you can't build outside of the title picture, if you can't make people care about you outside of the title picture, no matter if you're a woman or a man, then you're not as good of a wrestler as you think you are. And for them to be building her up to be the greatest women's wrestler of all time, I don't see it when you're standing next to your Sasha Bankses and your Bianca Belairs, who can make people care about the stupidest matches. People cared about Sasha going up against Alicia Fox on 205 Live. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Becky is now a proven draw, So to me, Charlotte's matches sometimes just aren't on par with some of the greatest matches that Becky, Sasha, Bianca have all put on. I think Charlotte versus Rhea was really good, but on a card where you have Becky versus Bianca, that to me is kind of hard. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think it was better than Sasha versus Bianca to me. And I was there in person when we got Charlotte versus Ronda at Survivor Series, and it was a shit match until they started using weapons. But people think it's like one of the greatest matches ever. I'm like, it was horrendous in person. It was not fun in person. So again, I said don't make me, and I did. But I say all that to say that Charlotte has been really good these past 2 years before she got injured. She was actually doing really well before she got injured.
No, I can see your point. Listen, she's definitely a nepo baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not even like second generation. She's purely a nepo baby who has
who is talented. At least she's talented.
Good, but 1,000% she is talented, so I do give it that. I do see a frustration. Well, friend, that was my question mark for Bianca, because Bianca was held the belt for so long, like 400 days. I was like, oh my god, can Bianca actually swim without this title right now? So, but she has been able to. So I do see your point that a great superstar does need to be able to carry their own without the chip. So I do see your point.
Before that 400, she had to build herself back up after the 25-second loss to Becky Lynch. She just got pinned at SummerSlam, getting cashed in on, and she's still getting the reactions that she's getting, away from the belt as she is. So I think Bianca and Rhea have proven that they've been able to pull and to draw. Rhea more new to that because, again, like I said, at the beginning of her run, they just kept getting her all mixed up with that Nikki Cross stuff. Yeah. And putting her with Liv and then not putting her with Liv. Like it wasn't her fault. It wasn't Rhea's fault that the beginning of her career wasn't as like rocket ship as it is, but her landing in Judgment Day and turning that shit around was amazing.
I always felt like that being lost was always part of like the whole saving Bianca and Rhea, because Rhea was Bianca was champion around that time, and it was like
I didn't even think Judgment Day really saved Rhea though. Honestly, I feel like
she saved the Judgment Day. Let's be real.
No, whoa. I don't think. Whoa. She did not save the Judgment Day.
Oh yes,
Dom and Rhea.
Dominic Mysterio saved JD 1,000%.
Look at that.
Okay, both of them.
Actually, you know what?
Finn and Damian Priest were not carrying once Edge left. So
they weren't doing anything when Edge was there. It was listen, Dom. Listen, it's Dom. Listen, I'm a Dom writer. Listen, I saw his custody rights get fought right in front of my eyes as a child. You know what I mean?
What?
Do you remember that SummerSlam match, like in 06, when it was like Eddie versus Rey Mysterio ladder match for the custody of Dominic Mysterio? Wicked, man. Listen, I saw his custody rights get fought for. So like, I grew up with Dom. Dom saved Judgment Day.
I think they both did. So we say all that to say that I think Rhea, I think we're all in agreement. Rhea comes away as the champion here. She gets that hometown win. Vince McMahon is no longer in charge, so it's no losing on your home turf anymore. I don't think like Nia doesn't need the heat. Like she's a heat magnet. So I'm definitely excited to see this match and see what they put together. Here.
You know what though? I'm still upset about what they did to Dom back in 2006 or whatever it was.
Oh,
him crying, that child with the bleached blonde hair, crying,
just trying to shake the ladder.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yo, did you see the background story on it?
Really?
He was like, Eddie was so nice to me. He kept offering me candy, asking me if I was okay. Like he had a great time. He got paid for that. So I don't feel bad at all.
He got paid. Well,
I would hope so. Yeah.
And he missed school. Nah, listen.
He apparently had a great time doing it. Like he's a great actor.
Speaking of the Judgment Day, next up, the Undisputed Tag Team Championship match, which is the Judgment Day. I swear I'd be forgetting they have them belts. Versus, they say British Strong Style, but I don't think
wasn't that a different person?
It was, and they're from what I understand, they're still trying to figure out a name. So it's Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. Well, I guess it was Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, and a third guy was British Strong.
Yeah, the other one.
The one guy, that other
him.
Dude. Yeah, that dude.
I don't know that one.
Him. Yeah.
Creepy.
I
don't remember what he did, but I know it wasn't good. So
So we got here because there was like a tag team fatal 4-way match that DIY won, and then Dunne and Bate qualified, and then it was DIY versus Dunne and Bate, and I was actually really shooketh a little bit that Dunne and Bate won that. I really thought that DIY was gonna win because DIY currently has a storyline with Judgment Day. So my only thought process is maybe they're saving them for WrestleMania. But DIY is intertwined in this R-Truth Judgment Day, storyline where R-Truth thinks DIY is DX, and so I that's my only thought process, right? Like, Matt, they gotta be saving that for WrestleMania, I would assume. If we're just getting this random pairing of Dunne and Bate versus Judgment Day.
You don't say those tag titles at Mania?
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't see it. I don't feel like
it's
DIY.
disgusting. It's so gross.
It's weird. They're in a weird spot, but also it's like weird. Anytime you're doing anything with Judgment Day, like they're not full on feuding with Judgment Day because you also have. I don't know. It's just weird to me. Like I feel like going into Mania 40. No offense to DIY, but like.
What?
I don't know if we're gonna get that, Matt. I don't know if we're gonna get that.
They've been building DIY up before this, though.
I know.
You know what they can. You know what they can do. You guys said ladders. They can do a fatal 4-way tag team ladder match.
That would be great.
I would go with like that
would be
multi-team match.
Yeah.
But I don't think it'll be like the team versus team. Like I think we have to mix it up. And no offense, but like for me, like DIY, I love them. They're iconic in the ring. They're just kind of nerds. Like, come on, they're nerds. They're nerds. What? Why are we gonna root for them like that?
Everybody loves them, Matt. Get on board.
I do love them. I do love them, but I love like I love the way dynamic. I like Candice LeRae being in there a little bit. Throw in Austin Theory again. Throw in Indy Hartwell again. Bring back my people.
Anyways, a tag team ladder match would be great. We haven't had a good one of those since like the New Day was champions.
That's true.
When that Salida del Sol off that ladder onto that other ladder. Oh my god, I feel like that was the last good one. Brandon, who's winning this?
I mean, it's the Judgment Day.
I know it is.
I feel like
we didn't debate it.
It's too easy.
I need them to split them belts or something. I truly hate that.
Have one belt.
They have both those belts. I
just thought of a fire idea, guys.
The
fatal 4-way tag team ladder match. Each team they split off 2 teams at the top, one from SmackDown, one from Raw, and they each split a belt off.
And then that'd be interesting.
That's the only way I can see it happen. Honestly.
Judgment Day literally isn't doing much with those. They're not doing anything with them titles.
It just feels like they're in purgatory at this point.
Yeah.
Like Damian Priest having the Money in the Bank and a tag team titles just doesn't make sense. So, and you kind of know it's never going to be cashed in with the titles on them.
Right.
Oh, I forgot about that, Brendan. I think
I'm not gonna lie. I do want to see Damian Priest with all 3 belts, world title and dual tag team titles, because
Roman
I need that
couldn't even do
that. He couldn't even do that. I want to see that render in 2K24 WWE, because I need that.
How are they going to do that?
I don't know. Listen, my creative character, I'm gonna wear like the cruiserweight title on both world straps and just like just figure it out. But honestly, Priest does it in such a cool way. He wears one as a belt and the other one as like a belt clip. And I've never seen nobody do it. I'm like, oh my god, that's so crazy.
It is. It's cool. It's just, but you're right. I and again, I forgot that he had Mr. Money in the Bank. Like, it feels like they are capped because they are waiting for the story to finish or whatever is going on at the top. That
listen, it's honestly it's unfortunate, but they did it to themselves. I don't feel bad for creative. You had a great opportunity at Fastlane after Seth had the last man standing match to go and have Damian Priest win the World Heavyweight Championship.
You did. Yeah.
And he would have had these couple months to sink or swim with it. You know, you can either drop the belt back to Seth for Seth's Mania match.
Yeah.
Or you can have Damian walk into Mania as champion.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't pull that trigger. Obviously, right now Seth is injured because you can't hinder the gender. And it's like it's not Jinder's fault, but it's weird. I find it weird that Jinder had a world title match and we haven't seen or heard from Jinder ever since.
Yeah,
he didn't even take responsibility for it to build the heat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's kind of weird.
He's like, I may not won the battle, but I injured you, Seth. But I digress.
Yeah.
So like they really wrote themselves with a corner with the Money in the Bank. As for the tag team titles,
they did.
the tag team title is just purgatory right now. There's nothing right now they can do to make me feel good about it.
Well, like legit though, I feel like what they need to do is do like a multi-team match, get them in, and then just switch the titles there. So if it does go to DIY at Mania, for example, like to me, the one-on-one story doesn't make so much sense because I just don't think that we need Judgment Day coming back for the titles. Like we need them to be clearly out of the picture, clearly taken out, like by Raw after Mania. I don't want them to even care about the titles. Like I just want a new team to reestablish it. DIY would be great for that, but then also having like Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate in the mix, having like they could have so many legit teams that are like reinvigorating the tag team championship scene, like all the feuds. But I like as for Elimination Chamber, it would be weird if the belts came off of Judgment Day here. Or is there like a weird thing where they're like, oh, so these guys are not American.
Yeah.
So and we're in Australia. So switch the titles. Mari, don't choke on me.
I know. They were like these dudes are from the UK-ish.
Close enough.
Yeah, close enough. Film on the cars. Yeah.
Give them the titles right here. No, I mean, but then again, if Judgment Day lost here too, that'd actually be amazing. So
I wouldn't be mad at it.
I will say this: the tag team title needs to go to a key team where they will be on a card at a pay-per-view or a premium live event, and they'll still be like, okay, this is a good match to go see because I know these guys are big enough names. If you drop the DIY, listen, Ciampa is the guy. I've never been a Johnny Gargano guy. His symbol with the half smiling, half serious guy, I've never liked it. His wife's cool. The rest of his faction is cool. I've never been a Gargano guy. To me personally, I don't like technical grabs. I like things that grab you. Power slams, high flying stuff. You hit me with a submission, I'm walking away. Me personally, I don't want to see it. So I think it makes more sense for a team like Truth and Miz to win it because who doesn't love R-Truth right now? You know what I mean? The Miz is added bonus. The Miz is honestly just the Miz. As we found out, he was in like 6 The Marine movies for no apparent reason.
2 through 6.
So it's honestly crazy in that aspect. But I feel like after Judgment Day, you lose that appeal of having a big tag team be in your premium live events because honestly, at one point, the Mysterios, Rey and Dom, they were defending the title on the pre-show. It didn't even make television. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was Peacock free, and you still can't even show that match.
Yeah.
So I think the WWE's kind of written themselves in a corner with those belts. Just kind of like thinking about like the history of it is the Usos, Sami and Kevin, Cody and Jay, and then these guys who are the only 2-time. But all those guys are single stars in their own right.
Yeah.
Who are holding tag team belts. When you go on to someone who you have to pass it to, it's going to be odd passing it to a tag team that is just a tag team. Like, you know what I mean?
See what you're saying. Yeah. But, they booked it with singles competitors who have aura. So now when it goes back down to a tag team, it doesn't feel as exciting. I get that.
I think it needs to be split before you even go back to that.
That's right. You got a good point, but they did it to even the Sami and Kevin. They were a story. They only won the tag titles for a story purpose. You know what I mean? For the bloodline story.
Yep.
You could have done it with any other 2 wrestlers. Don't get me wrong. Sami Zayn going into last year's WrestleMania was white hot.
Yeah.
If you would have taken the shot for Roman at the Elimination Chamber, I would have been okay with it.
Right.
I would have been fine because that story was white hot. So Sami was white hot. Kevin kind of like got taken along for the story because he fit it in a sense. But like there was a story plot for the tag team title. Judgment Day was kind of like, okay, how do we make this team look dominant? Sami and Kevin aren't really doing anything with the titles that's worth really watching.
They really
outside of the bloodline. So let's give it to JD. And don't get me wrong, JD, they are competing with the belt. They are.
Didn't Sami get hurt too, or something like that?
Kevin got hurt. Kevin got hurt.
Okay.
Kevin got hurt. Then Sami got a little banged up. They dropped titles. But either way, it didn't really matter because who were they really going to lose the title
They
to
weren't
anyway?
really doing anything, yeah.
And then even with Jay and Cody, that's another story plot to build for Jay and Jimmy. Like you were never supposed to win another tag team title, especially without me.
Of course, yeah.
That's crazy. And then obviously Cody's just poking at Roman the Bear, winning something on one of his cousins. So it's like it's all story plots. So once you get, like Brandon said, once you get to the actual tag team, I'm not for it. I really don't want to see the tag team titles on my story unless you give it to like the Street Profits.
The Street Profits are the only ones.
They're a great tag team. Dawkins and Ford, those guys are a great
story of that tandem, that faction as dominant.
Yeah.
Give them those belts because that's what you want to do. Those belts have seemed to make people dominant, to express this group's dominance.
Yeah. But at the same time, we went into the same issue. Like, oh my god, like what are they gonna do with this faction with the belts? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you wanna I doubt in the next 10 years we'll see another New Day or Uso type of reign where it's 300, 400, 500 because the Usos held for 600 days.
Yeah,
I doubt we see that again because it's hard to keep viewers entertained
because they weren't doing nothing with it.
Nothing at all. No, they haven't been doing nothing with it at all. Like, look at Gunther. Gunther's held the title for 600 days now, 620 counting. You probably won't see another 600-day intercontinental reign for a really long time.
It really hasn't, because it hasn't felt like it. Like, he's been doing such a good job of defending and putting on great matches and having people care about people. Like, I didn't even it's shocking to me that he's had it for over a year because I don't know. It feels like a great run. It really does. And he had one of the best matches at last year's WrestleMania for it. And I forgot that he had the belt before that. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy. It's definitely crazy, but it's just one of those things. It's like, how do we care about this belt?
Yeah, we need better. Yeah. They just need better creative when it comes to some of these titles.
But I do feel like they're gonna lead to a place where Judgment Day does their thing here. Like, if I had to predict where we're going with Mania, I really do like the idea of a multi-man match. But again, having Finn and Priest in there, but then also having Miz and Truth in there, and then maybe having the feud continue with Judgment Day. Well, with Miz, yeah. Well, no, having the feud continue with Judgment Day and Truth and Miz after Mania. But then I mean Triple H is in charge. He loved DIY in NXT.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's been building them up. He's been quietly building them up for the last 3 or 4 weeks. We haven't been talking about it, but it's been happening.
It has been. It's okay. I mean, I just feel like it was a little bit more I wish it was more electric in terms of the characters and everything. But Ciampa and Gargano still are loved by so many people. To me, I mean, they're not at their peak together, obviously, because how are you going to replicate what NXT was a handful of years ago? But I don't know. I'm not sure if they're going to break through or not. It's hard to tell. To the championship level where they're actually the number one tag team.
Okay.
So we'll see.
So final predictions. I have Judgment Day. Do we all have Judgment Day here? Yeah.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, very quick.
Very much so.
Yeah. Okay. And then finally, the
one thing I want from WWE this year is to make wrestling less predictable.
I don't mind predictability if it's logical and makes sense. I think most of this is logical and makes sense. It's a pay-per-view before WrestleMania that's advancing WrestleMania storylines in front of an international audience. So I don't really need swerves. It just doesn't make for a great podcast.
Not really for swerves. I mean, when I say wrestling less predictable, I want to look at a match okay, there's a possibility of this happening. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah.
I don't when you look at JD and the tag and Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates. I'm not looking at them boys they got a chance. Nah. They got a chance. I'm like,
true.
At this point, I'm just looking for match quality. Can you guys just wow me with some spots?
Yeah.
Same thing with the men's Rumble match. I'm looking at this match okay, this is very clearly and obvious Drew McIntyre. Can you guys just wow me at this point? You know what I mean? I just want.
And you don't think you're getting that either? Wow.
No, match quality. I think in the men's, it's hard. It's hard for me because the men's are very stiff. Lashley's an older gentleman. Randy's an older gentleman.
Yeah.
LA Knight is an older gentleman. And when I say older, I don't mean like they're in their 50s, but they're in their 40s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can still wrestle and they can still do their thing. Yeah, but Randy's not doing a 480 off the top of the cage. Lashley's never been that guy. Let me wrong. Kevin Owens.
He'll catch you in the RKO.
He'll catch you in the RKO. KO, he has a love for the game, so KO will fling his body however he needs to be.
He's gonna crash into everything.
But outside of the wow factor, there's no predictability in that match for me. So I just want to eat just give me a little plausibility so I can be like, that can still happen.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. It's hard. It's hard because
it's hard like right before Mania too. It is right, Marnie?
Yeah. Exactly. So like, and then we're getting, because like I said, Grayson Waller is also from Australia. He's getting the Grayson Waller Effect talk show. He's also been talking to Paul Heyman, so we don't know what that means for like his relationship with Roman, but he's going to be talking to Seth and Cody. You know, Seth did say he has Cody Rhodes back. I guess this will be the answer to no question that The Rock or Roman did on SmackDown. The Rock just came out and talked about Utah all night. But we know that they've joined forces, or Cody and Seth joined forces. What does that look like? What does that mean? Maybe we'll get more of that here. And then that kind of ties into the Jimmy and Jay of it all as well. Chano, do you want to talk about like the Jimmy and Jay, Seth, Cody, all of this nonsense of it all?
I want to start off. Seth sticking his nose where it don't belong is going to cost him his title. That's going to cost him his title. Listen, I don't know. Maybe his mama never told him, but yeah, stop being nosy. Mind your business. Leave grown folk business to grown folk. Worry about what's in front of you. So that being said, Jimmy and Jay, they've been going at it. Jimmy's he's really hurt by his brother. Well, and hurting his brother. He cost his brother the world title at SummerSlam. He cost his brother the Intercontinental title against Gunther. Which, by the way, this is the first time we've had a visual pin on Gunther getting pinned for a 3 count. You know what I mean? The ref ain't get to 3, but we saw that Gunther was not kicking out. So he's once again, Jay doesn't want that smoke with his older brother, with his twin, because they're twins. But we're gonna get to that point where Ray got to with Dom last year, and he was like, "You really want to fight at Mania? Well, we can fight at Mania."
Let's do it.
And they're gonna handle their business. But at the same time, you probably get Jay entering Cody's Shield to go against the New Age bloodline, because Rock's dead. You know what I mean? It's one hell of a story. Does Seth turn on Cody at Mania? Does Jay realign himself with the bloodline at Mania? There's so many things that there's so many ways this bloodline story can go. Will Cody finish the story? Personally, after seeing Cody lose a match on Raw, which by the way, I am a Cody hater. And I'm not a Cody hater because I think he's terrible. He's a great wrestler. He's a great wrestler. He's a great babyface. The kids love him. My issue with Cody is he's been on the roster for 2.5 years, and my guy has not lost clean once. He has not lost clean once. He fell asleep against. He got put to sleep against Brock Lesnar. But he's white from history at this point, so that match ain't happened. And then he only got pinned by Roman, after the Samoa Spike. And then he lost again to Drew McIntyre by Samoa Spike, by Solo. So he has yet to lose on his own power. To me, it's like Roman is the ultimate evil, the big bad, the final boss. You know what I mean? So whoever beats Roman for that championship, he is a made man. As it stands right now, Cody Rhodes is already a made man. He hasn't lost to nobody. This is the point where I said wrestling needs some probability. You can look at any Cody Rhodes match and be like, oh yeah, I know who's winning this match. It's going to be Cody. There has been no question about it. Even when he first came out and debuted against Seth, they did, in my opinion, they did Seth Rollins dirty when they had him lose 3 straight times to Cody Rhodes.
Dirty.
dirty. It should have been a 2-1. It should have been a 1-1 split going into Hell in a Cell, and Cody pulling off his chops and winning the tiebreaker and cementing it. But instead, he did some damage to Seth. And don't get me wrong, Seth's the world champion now, so water under the bridge. But I remember that, and it sucks. So I kind of have that beef with Cody. It's not really with him. It's with creative. Like, you don't think Cody can eat a pin and survive? A clean pin and be okay?
Well, I mean, look at it. If it happens, then the whole internet explodes talking about we want Cody, you know? So I agree. I agree with everything you said.
Yeah. No,
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah. No, and it is good. Like, I do appreciate them protecting him. And you know what? The one reason I'm okay with it, or like the one reason I'm not upset with it at all, is because Cody has the whole crowd in the palm of his hands, right? Like, it's wild how he's still doing so well in terms of the merch, in terms of the kids, in terms of like everyone pulling from him. And then now with all this like Royal Rumble stuff that they did with The Rock, like, we want Cody. Now everyone wants Cody. So it is kind of wild that he hasn't been an underdog at all, and yet he's still kind of like he is completely painted as an underdog. Like, when in his run has he not been the
He's
underdog?
a white meat baby face. He's a white meat baby face.
But like, he's always
been his favorite.
He's eating them. He's always just eat like I don't know where to go with that. But like, he's just like he's eating all of it. Like Mari, he is taking up the whole buffet, and he's not even leaving anything for like the rest of the people. Why is Cody not the heel? Why don't we hate Cody?
Because it doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense. They've done a good job of protecting him. And he clearly speaks to an audience, because again, people just thought he might not get his chance at WrestleMania, and it broke the internet. So, you know, I'm very interested in seeing what this Grayson Waller effect has to do with Seth and Cody. Maybe it's just an excuse, and it'll just be them hitting Grayson in the face, basically. But who knows? Because I don't think Roman or The Rock are scheduled to be in Australia, as far as I know.
It could be.
I was going to say.
I mean, it doesn't have to be The Rock, and we know Seth isn't clear. It could always be Jimmy and Solo start some trouble, and Jay saves the day. Seth's on the sideline, little tag team match.
Great point.
Unsanctioned, you know.
Yeah.
A little unsanctioned thing. You're right. That's why they're there.
Or Seth could announce he's cleared, and then leads into a tag team match: Grayson Waller and Austin Theory versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins.
If Seth announces he's clear, Damian Priest better run down there and with the ref.
Well, you know he's not going to. 1,000%. You know he's not going to.
Man,
that would be
my night.
He should do it either way. Like why? Like, what's the rule that you're injured so you can't?
That's the rule.
Yeah,
he's injured. He can't do it.
Knowing Damian Priest, he probably left his briefcase back home in the States.
Yeah,
he didn't think something enough.
Got lost in the airplane travel.
Yeah. All right, that's it for the highlights of the week. All the highlights of the week can be found in a very handy playlist here in the show notes or show descriptions on the YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. This has been amazing. We have made a mountain out of a molehill. They did not give us much to work with, but we are so glad that we got to have you guys on, and we have to definitely do this again. So let's get into your plugs. We'll start with you, Chance. Plug everything. Plug it all.
So like I say on my podcast, guys, I don't have a Twitter account. My Twitter account is the 4 Sides of the Ring Twitter account. I get everything I want there. My Knicks news, my challenge news, my baseball free agency news. At this point, the Twitter account is my baby. And you can find us at 4SIDESOTR on Twitter, guys. Like I said, that's the only thing I care about. My own Twitter is just filled with bots. I haven't been on there in months.
The bots.
And I'm a Brandy Savage, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Life and Times, LYFE. We also are live coming back in soon with new episodes of Four Sides of the Ring after the trivia is over.
Okay.
We'll be doing recaps coming up, headlines coming up soon, episodes coming up later this week. But we're looking forward, guys. I believe next week. I believe it is.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be back.
Tournament.
We'll be back.
So in case you guys did not know,
Uh-oh.
All right, so
Tell us. Yeah.
So in case you guys didn't know, we did face off against Murray and Matt. We got smoked. Listen, me and Brandon, we put up a valiant effort.
You did. Y'all did a great job.
It turns out we do not know about women's trivia as much as Matt and Mari. So.
How dare you?
No, we do not.
But that being said, they will be back on 3-Count Trivia next week, facing off against Championship Culture, which I believe was already on the show last.
Yes. Last episode. So
little familiar faces when you jump on and you see. So 3-Count Trivia with Wrestling Wrap Up and Championship Culture next week. We do have Wrestling in the Middle going against Mouthing Off with Mike. And that'll be recorded tomorrow, out by the weekend, guys.
Yeah, but you know what? Let me just put it out there that soon enough, in a few weeks, you're going to see us as the champions of 3-Count Trivia. And let me also put it out there that you might not see any of these people after because they're going to be so embarrassed by me and Mari smoking them, slapping them around left and right. Wow. Get out of the way. Get out. We're done. We're doing it. It doesn't need to be women's wrestling. We're taking the win. Now, hopefully they don't actually listen to this podcast because I don't want them to hear it. But we're ready to win. And
tell the people where they can find you when they hear this, and they can go.
You can find, if you have any problems with me after that, you could find me at Mari Talks Too Much. That's
really?
two on social media. Or you could follow maybe me or Mari at Matt Scotchy W. You figure it out for yourself. And other than the Wrestling RHAPup, other than 3-Count Trivia, you could find me over on my show Pod Friends on Rob as a Podcast, interviewing people in the network. Just published the season finale a few days ago, but go back, check out all the episodes. Know that I don't talk that much trash on there. And I'm actually a nice person who you should let win trivia if you want. But that's all you have from me. Mari, where could the people find you other than at Mari Talks Too Much to the number 2?
Yes, every Tuesday, me and Sarah Carradine bring True Crime Tuesdays to RHAP with the Crime Scene podcast. We just dropped our latest episode where we discussed Lover, Stalker, Killer, a documentary on Netflix. Yeah, and we were joined by Kimberly from A Date with Dateline, one half of the Date with Dateline girls. We had a lot of fun just talking about a very interesting documentary on Netflix. So if you like true crime and you like True Crime Review podcast where we tell you if it's worth watching, you can go to Crime Scene by going to robhasawebsite.com/crime feed in order to subscribe over there. Of course, the recap kickback is still going strong with our top 5s. We are dropping the top 5 Black romances. That's coming out. That should be coming out tomorrow. So if you haven't already, go subscribe to the recap kickback by going to recapkickback.com and join our we have a Facebook group for that too, and we send out surveys because it's not our top 5, it's your top 5. We have a survey, we have our audience and our listeners fill it out, and our friends and our family, we beg everybody we know to fill out the survey, and then we revealed the top 5, whatever the category is, as determined by you, the listeners. And we've been having so much fun with this series. We have one more series after this for Black History Month, and then we'll be getting into something different. So definitely check out the recap kickback. That's it.
Really?
I think so. I'm probably gonna remember something once I hang up. But make sure you're following the Wrestling RHAPup and you're subscribed to us. robhasawebsite.com/Wrestling RHAPup. Again, keep an eye out on the YouTube page. We'll make a announcement soon. Follow us on Twitter at Wrestling RHAPup. That's at Wrestling RHAPUP RHAPup. Also, it's a great time to become an RHAP patron. So if you go to patreon.com/RHAP, I mean, you're getting your patron 5 for 5s. You're getting your patron exclusive access to first come, first serve to RHAP events. Survivor starts next week. So it's about to be popping in the Patreon. So make sure you can go and sign up at any level. Again, that's patreon.com/RHAP. All right. Again, thank you guys so much. We can't wait to talk to you guys again to represent on the 3-count trivia. But for me and Mascot, Brandon and Chance, remember, everybody, wrestling is for everybody, but not all wrestling is for everyone. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Throw 'em up, lay it down just like Matt and Mari. Wrestling liver RHAPUp's gonna make it sorry. Feeling like The Rock cause I'm driving in Ferraris. And we coming every week and it's feeling like a party. Moolah Ric Flair, showing out like Bianca Belair, Best podcast, flush it in the air, Roman Reigns and we win it, don't care, No cap. Throw 'em up, lay it down just like Matt and Mari. Wrestling liver RHAPUp's gonna make it sorry. Feeling like The Rock cause I'm driving in Ferraris. And we coming every week and it's feeling like a party.